This is the beginning. Okay, so I'm sitting here meditating on all of the promises that are like in my field right now. There's so many, like there's been so many. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is I came on here to share some like picture scenes and some different reference points for helping the shift of the timeline to become something where we can like further be sold on the idea, like further be able to buy into the idea, further be able to like have the revelation of understanding the currency of conceptual understanding, conceptual buy-in, that we would be able to actually sow in enough faith, I guess. And by the way, all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. So that's good news. It's not about having so much faith. You only need a tiny bit, but what you do need is something that doesn't seem so above you that you put it on a pedestal. That's, I guess, what the thing is. So I just felt the nudge to go look up those tidal waves for like tsunami waves because of how much tidal wave messaging has been coming through. And just, you'll have to listen to my other videos, but it's in relation to a vision that I was given where the tidal wave was actually positive. It was actually like the powerful living water coming in to like topple over. Like it's so powerful, it was going to topple over every single limiting thing, whether that's like debt, or just being stuck in kind of basic survival mode, like being stuck in poor people land, like being stuck in paycheck to paycheckville, that kind of thing, and just being stuck in that frequency of never advancing. Like it's a frequency. It's not just a money problem. It's not just like the economy. It's literally, it's a level of revelation that we vibrate at that keeps it from us. Okay, so there's been a couple different pictures that I will envision and like just meditate on, that like this is so easy for the infinite. Like this is so easy for the infinite intelligence. This is so easy for the quantum field. Like there is unlimited, like things come from nothingness. So therefore there's plenty of nothingness to bring it forth, to transmute poverty into luxury, to transmute slavery, like time slavery, to freedom. But like I said, we have to be able to buy into it to the point where it's not so high up on a pedestal that we feel like it's not ours. Because the thing is, it's kind of the strangest experience, and it almost like, I don't know how to explain this, like it almost like ticks me off, because I'm like, by the time, okay, like you get so used to the idea of the thing and it becomes so normalized because you've sat with it and you've familiarized yourself with it, and you've really worked it out within yourself to the point where this isn't a big surprise anymore. And so by the time you get this thing that like at one point it was just like this ultimate dream that was like, so it was so big that it felt impossible, and therefore it felt so desirable and exciting. And what's wild is you become so familiar and you level up your revelation of self-worth and like the normalcy of it all, like the possibility of how you normalize it. You get to the point where it's like, okay, that doesn't seem so impossible anymore. Then when you actually receive it, it's like still exciting, it's still good, it's still celebration, but it's not that desperation celebration. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm hoping it does. It's kind of a weird part of the manifestation journey. I'll never forget PT. He was like, you just keep going. And one day you look up and realize that big mountain that was in front of you is behind you now. And he's like, it's not that like dramatic. It's like, it's just next thing you know, it's going to be like, oh, yep, there, when you just stay the course. And like, so anyway, I remember him saying that and being like, oh, that's irritating. It's not going to be this giant dramatic moment. And like, don't get me wrong, it can still be a beautiful, giant, dramatic, amazing moment. But for particular, if you've really been like focusing on manifesting a specific thing, you get to the point where it becomes it's already in your aura, it's already in your field before it materializes into the 3D whatever. But like so it's like it's familiar. You've literally like you've already come to accept that it's here now, okay? And so anyway, one of the ways that I've thought about this is like, do you know when you transfer between money or between accounts in your bank app and you just transfer and like magically the numbers just change? So I think about that, like that's one of the ways that the quantum field just is boom, like shifting timelines, boom. I might have started with that dollar amount, but then the quantum field transfers me, boom, transfer immediate, like right now, blink of an eye. It's just done. Like once it's done, it's done. All it takes is the initiation, boom. That's one example that I think about, and I like imagine it being like quantum field to my bank account, boom, it's just there. And then another one, when I was watching the tidal waves, the download that was given to me, this is a little bit more woo-woo, but I hope you appreciate it. So imagine, I was watching I'm watching the wave happen, and so imagine the space and imagine like if each of the elements were realms, okay? Imagine if each of the elements were realms. So it's like there's the air and there's the water, and like they're usually, and then like over here is, the water doesn't usually come this far. This is like air area. And then all of a sudden, boom, dimensions, just like this dimension moves into this dimension. The water is moving into the like dry land area, the air element area. And now next thing you know, there's just more water in what was nothingness. Woo-wee. This is exciting stuff. So it's like, that was the picture. It was like, it's just going to be that easy. Like you're just pulling from the quantum field. In this analogy, it's like, imagine it coming from a dimension, the dimension where all of like the storehouse, where all of the currency is kept. And it does not have to make sense. It does not have to align with the logical realm, like the logic of this realm, because you're pulling it from a different realm, a realm that is literally, like, think about it, oxygen and H2O. They are completely different, and yet they're composed. Oh, wow, this message. On the one hand, I'm immediately feeling like, what a nerd. That's what I'm thinking about myself. On the other hand, I'm like, okay, let's just go with it. So literally it's like oxygen, O. It's made up of the oxygen molecule. H2O, literally 2 hydrogen, right? Gosh, I hope I'm right. And 1 oxygen, H2O, makes water. The O is in both of them, but they're completely different. One of them, we depend on both of them to live, but we have to interact. Oh, this is a word and a half. Do you see what the spirit is doing right now? Okay, so you have to interact with them in a particular way. For example, you don't just swallow a bunch of air into your stomach. And on the other hand, you really, really avoid flooding your lungs with water, because both of those are not how the vessel was created to, both of those are not how the vessel was designed to interact with these elements. And so once you understand how to properly interact with the elements, it will indeed fuel your life, and it will indeed fuel your vessel. And it will indeed bring literally what you need to live. So I was just asking, like, okay, so what are the 2 hydrogen, like, in this analogy then? meditation, visualization, scripting. I guess you could consider meditation and visualization kind of to be like along the same lines, because it's like the consciousness work, I guess. Scripting, writing it, declaring it. Like, so maybe it's like, maybe declaration and meditation are like the two main elements. You can declare it either through writing or through affirmations, especially when you look in the mirror and like get, like, it's really powerful to look at yourself in the mirror. This reminds me of that passage that Yeshua was like, something about, they look in the mirror and they don't remember their own reflection. What's wild about that is when I very first read that, I was like, that's me. I don't like to look at myself in the mirror. Like, I was a younger person, and it was just one of those things it had culturally been passed off as vain. To, think about how culturally they made it like the Valley girls were the ones that sit and stared in the mirror. And so like, I didn't want to be that. So therefore I just like wouldn't really look at myself. But what's wild is before that cultural change, that cultural programming, before that, I would always see myself in the mirror, and I'd have these moments of divine identity revelation where I would experience almost like an echo within myself. And I would all of a sudden be like, whoa, I'm here right now. I would have those experiences. And it was like my soul seeing myself in the mirror and being like, oh my gosh, like I'm here right now. Like that's so bizarre. And then, and then it's like life went on and I started having those less and less. But I think like re-encountering yourself in the mirror is a super important place to start. But anyway, so yeah, whatever it is that is like a part of the desire of your heart, or like even if it's been spoken over your path, and you'll know what I'm talking about if something has been, because you hear it from every angle, and it's like confirmation, different voices, different circles even, like, but same message. So it's like those are the kinds of things that you can latch onto and be like, okay, this has been obviously spoken to my path. I'm going to sow my faith into it by thinking on it, by declaring it, by looking at myself in the mirror and telling myself like the good news, and then picturing other people. Like how fun is it going to be when you get to share the good news with people that you love, and like get to share then the like whatever the subsequent blessings are from the big blessing, with them, and like start to experience life like that together with the real ones. Like, you have come through it, so therefore exactly who is who in your life. And it's one of those things that you never wanted to have to go through it to find out, and it even hurt to find out, but it's like, this was why you had to know. This was why you had to go through that, to find out who's who. Because when this tidal wave of blessing hits your life, you're going to know who really is like down for you, who loves you, who is your ride or die, versus some other people who probably will just show up because you're surrounded by blessings and they just want, a taste of that. And by the way, good on you if you want to share it. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, and I'm not saying be stingy, bless them. Like, yeah, bless them. Yeah, bless them. But also, more importantly, it's just about knowing who really loves you, because those are the people that you really want to keep around, because those are the people that are going to do you right, and not just take advantage or potentially even steal from you, which some people would do. So anyway, yeah, it's like, man, it was hard to go through it. But the amount of intuition that was refined and confirmed and developed and released through that is something that will be a valuable asset to the rest of your life. And now you get on with your purpose. Congratulations, you get to get on with your purpose. I'm not even, there is no pep talk required here, because the divine ones that I'm speaking to, they are ready. They have been fully through the refiner's fire process, and they are ready. I'm talking like top level divine ones that their heart has been so tested and it is so good. Like when I say good, it's not like the English good bad. or the human good bad, but it's like it's healthy, it's noble, it's righteous, it's pure, it's balanced. Like that is good. That's what good was. That's the good I'm referring to. So they can be entrusted. You can be entrusted with this. You can be entrusted with this. As a young person, I used to pray, don't give it to me. Like, don't give it to me if it's going to break me. Don't give it to me till I'm ready. Don't give it to me until, don't give it to me until my soul won't. Because what's that? There's another passage that's like, what good is it to be given all the wealth of this world, but at the cost of your very soul, pretty much. So it's like, you don't want anything like that, And that's what I would always pray. Don't give me the abundance. Don't give me the wealth, because I'm believing for the wealth, but I'm asking that you would entrust me first into your protective spirit, so that the wealth doesn't destroy me. And so when you're on the fast track and you pray things like that, you go through a lot of really huge, confusing, painful experiences back to back to back to back, so that you can be ready in the timeline for the mission and for the giant tidal wave of abundance that is hitting your life now, right now. It's as easy as a transfer. Just like all the quantum field has to do is literally just enter it into the computer system of the matrix of this realm. And guess how we do that? We do that because through our own choice, through our own order up, through our own request with the currency of faith. The currency of, okay, wait, I'm onto something here. When I was talking about what are the two H's. Okay, so if O is like the quantum field. Wait, what was that analogy? So there's O's and O's. And then there's two H's that changes it from that dimension to this dimension. From that element to this element. So faith could be one of the, that could be one of the key ingredients. I guess along with the selection. That's another, this is like part B of the analogy. Different analogy, same structure. Part B is also you got to make your selection. Make your selection. And then apply your faith to it as an activator. But so for example, for me, I've been expecting this tidal wave of blessing. I've been expecting it. So I've been doing specific things so that when it comes, I'm ready. I've been making lists of okay, this is what I'll do first. Oh, yep, I got to add that. As ideas come to me and as divine, soul, mission, clarity, revelation, reminders come to me, I write that down. So I know exactly what I'm going to do. Some projects that have been just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, because it's the funding is the next step. It's about to be the tidal wave of activation for so many royalty level projects, royalty level endeavors, high level. Man, can you imagine how it's going to be when all of these illuminated beings activate into their divine roles on the next level, as well as receive the funding that goes with that? Can you imagine how this is going to shift so many atmospheres? Musicians, boom. If we finally have the money to pay the musicians and to rent the space where we're not rushed, we get to get in there and we get to just create for as long as it takes there's no limitations due to the money or the time thing. We can actually hire the help that we need for our families in order to be able to focus on our divine mission at hand. Can you imagine when corrupt systems start having are starting to be looked into, corrupt systems being looked into because we have divine kingdom level people And that's one of those, that's a like reference specific to if you grew up in one particular thought narrative. But divine ones, you know, conscious beings, Christ consciousness, awake, like seers, divine earth angels, ascended masters, chosen ones, however you want to say it. Like, and by the way, we are all equally able. We could have been chosen if we chose to be chosen. You know what I'm saying? It's a free will choice. It's a free will choice. So like, if you're under the sound of my voice, you don't have to question about whether this is for you or not, because if you have found my channel, you're seeking something. You're seeking something. So do not allow any voice to tell you, oh, that's not you, that's not you. Do not allow anybody to disqualify you, for you get to decide the level up that you're going to initiate yourself into via the free gift that is the quantum field. Man, and can you imagine those of us who have like justice-centered purpose being able to, you know, it's going to take still process sometimes, but that's okay because there's funding now. We get to activate people into positions of justice, you know, into positions of, you know, looking in to see like, are all of our police departments following the like truth and justice, like for real, you know, righteousness, like purity? Or do we have some that are actually helping with the illegal endeavors? Like, how do we really put a stop to all of this illegal substance things that are destroying lives, you know? How do we actually invest in like true healing where people aren't just sent through the freaking cash cow system of the flawed pharmaceutical system? So it's like, imagine all of the divine ones who have righteous awareness. Like, do you see how atmospheres are going to shift? They're going to shift. Big time. Oh, that vision of the dimension of like, the vision of like the wave coming now onto land and, you know, like taking up space that it didn't used to take up. Not only is that kind of, you know, that's like the divine spirit of living water coming into a space on a new level because of all of us that have done the work to remove the pollution within ourselves, to walk through the refiner's fire, to take up your cross. Like, these are all different analogies of the same concept. Like, we've taken the healing journey. We've been willing to deny ourselves the things that were just like crutches that were actually toxic, you know what I'm saying? Like toxic crutches that really didn't solve any problems or like produce any real good. It's also what I also saw in that element exchange of like this water now taking up the space of the what was just dry land air. I also was seeing that as like the power shift. The power shifting from corruption hands back to the hands of the divine love. Like, we can quantum leap into that. And I believe we are. I believe we are. I believe we are. And like, I think that's why at the end, even though we're all crowned as royalty, we all will know that it was like, yeah, I did my part, but it was only because of the divine spirit that coordinated and orchestrated this entire amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's where it's like this beautiful humility, because we'll all know that it's like, yeah, I did participate, but I know that it's only from the empowerment, from the enablement, from the divine team that's all supported and fueled through the divine, through the spirit, capital S, spirit, creator flow. Hoo-wee. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Bu sirgete bordroko, she sirgete bordroko koko. Ya sirgete bordroko koko. Bu she sirgete bordroko koko. Bu de be sirgete bordroko, she sirgete bordroko koko. Start making your list. Don't put it so high up on a pedestal. Remember, Yeshua was able to make water into wine, just like bada bing, bada boom, easy peasy. Like make the storm calm, boom, done. You know, like balance the wind and the water and the waves and like just balance it all. Like he had the capacity, the ability, the revelation to do all that. And we have to stop putting what he did on a pedestal because he said the same spirit, la mismo, el mismo, the same spirit, samesies, like same one is here right now. And like, that's it, period. Like that's the end of the story. So if he can just literally break the laws of physics to transition particles from this to that, to break the laws of time. That's what water to wine is, breaking the physics of time. He broke time. Like what's something that should have to take a long time by fermenting grapes took no time. I mean, it took like as long as it took them to pour the water in, you know? So like maybe seconds to minutes. So whatever those strongholds within us that are telling us things have to take time because this is the way that it would happen. Like we have to require those thoughts to bow, to literally kneel, which means take the position of acknowledging that you're not bigger than the bigger reality, than the actual authority, that anything can happen at any moment, and it doesn't have to follow the rules of physics as we know them in terms of basic physics, because like physics even is telling us that that quantum leaps are possible, that there's infinite realities possible, that anything can be so, you know? Physics teaches us that. So it's just a matter of learning. You know, we've had information kept from us, but we're catching on quickly because the Spirit made sure that we would never lose out on the totality of the revelation that is needed in order to activate, to shift atmospheres. So literally, require those thoughts that try and limit the possibility. Require them. No. You're not accurate. You're not accurate, actually, because miracles are possible, which, yeah, maybe this is the way that it's happened 99.999% of the time, but I do a new thing. Do you not perceive it? You got to perceive that there's a possibility of the new thing. So anything that's trying to limit how this is all going to go cannot stay. And that's what this tidal wave of revelation literally comes and topples over every stronghold, every thought process that limits the idea that this could fucking happen. Woo! Oh my gosh, this is exciting stuff. And it's up to you. It's up to you to heal the blockages, to heal the wounds, clear the blockages, like choose to believe, choose to set yourself free, choose to allow yourself to receive this. You have to, it's like all of that is up to you. The Creator does not pick favorites. Everybody has the same possibility to go from wherever they are right now to quantum leap into a completely different life. And you don't have to know how it's going to happen. That's the whole point about infinite intelligence. That's the whole point about the Spirit and our divine team. bringing it through. But you have to start driving your life as though you are the general, like that you are the boss here. That this is you're in charge. Like you're in charge of your vessel and your bubble of consciousness. And so therefore, like, start cashing in from the quantum field everything that you need to complete the mission at hand. Start claiming time freedom. Start claiming perfect health, restoration, mental clarity. And what's crazy is life will not only sometimes just miraculously do things for you immediately, but also like you'll be guided to the food to eat and the food to avoid. You'll be guided to different revelation, like that used to be okay, but it's not the season for that right now. You know, you'll be guided through things. Anyway, I'm so stoked to watch this all like play out, to witness this. Because wow, 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 wow. Wow. I'm feeling like, what is that feeling? I'm feeling this giddiness, I guess, in what I think is it would be either my root chakra. Yeah, it's got to be my root chakra, which isn't that related to like stability, security, you know, that kind of like, that's what, and so I might be getting the names wrong, but that's the feeling and the impression that I was getting, is just like this blissful experience, knowing that it is here now. I mean, wow. A totally different experience, shifting dimensions, like pulling the wealth that's just literally like on that side of the computer program into this computer program, and it's assigned to your name and you get to keep it. And now you get to start doing your divine purpose, and you're activated now. Let it be so. Be blessed, be well, be free.